made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Painesville, a Painesville area community education production in association with the Painesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome to the Talk of Painesville, our new community live stream talk show. I'm Jacob Bertram.
And I'm Faith DeCousin. Thank you for joining us live today. Please enter your questions in the comment section below at any time during this broadcast, and we will try to get them into the show.
We have a great show in store for you today. We welcome Mr. Matt Bullard, the Painesville Area School District Superintendent. He'll be giving us a building update on the project they're happening and school year wrap-up. We have Elizabeth Rose Salon is now open. We'll hear about their new protocol. We also have our local trivia contest, the Joke of the Week, Chamber Member Spotlight, and your Make Wealth Management Money Minute.
Now let's get this show started with this week's Painesville Trivia question. Roll it.
Alright, the question for this week is who holds the Painesville baseball record for the most bases stolen in one season? Was it A. Mike Tangen, B. Lee Schlaper, C. Ron Fuchs, or D. Zach Schrader? You could be the lucky winner today. We have a special prize waiting for you, so good luck to everyone. If you want to put your answer in the comment section below, we'll get them and we'll answer the question later in the broadcast. So good luck to everyone. And now let's hear from our sponsors.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments. The big ones, the small ones. We know you don't have time for complicated banking, and we believe you deserve something more. Our friendly and knowledgeable team is here to make banking easier with the right financial accounts, loans, and services to fit your needs. It's our promise to you to place your needs at the center of all we do. Central Minnesota Credit Union. Centered on you.
Make Wealth Management has offices located in Painesville and Wilner and is a comprehensive wealth management, investment, and insurance firm. As your trusted advisors, we are wholly dedicated to helping you reach a higher purpose for your wealth and design a lasting legacy for your family. We leverage deep industry knowledge, a vast network of specialized services, proven investment strategies, and a passion for serving you. Let Make Wealth Management help you live your life by design, not by default.
We now welcome Mr. Matt Bullard to the show. We are having technical difficulties right now, so please hang on.
This program is made possible through the support of our generous sponsors. The Talk of Painesville, a Painesville area community education production in association with the Painesville Area Chamber of Commerce.
Well, we're sorry about that. We got little camera troubles there, but that's the beauty of live TV. So folks, to my left here is Mr. Matt Bullard. He's the superintendent at Painesville Schools. Mr. Bullard, how are you doing today?
Excellent, excellent. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
You handled the small chaos very well. I'm impressed.
Oh yeah? Yeah. Yeah, we're getting good at that. So we'll just start off right away with that building project that's going on. A lot of movements, a lot of changes going on. So how's that going so far?
Yeah, it's nice to see the heavy equipment out, and anybody that's driven by the secondary building has definitely noticed the dirt being turned. And we are in the middle of demolition work. The crews are working diligently to get the career and tech space demolished and be able to get that space turned around so we don't lose any student instructional days. The plan is to have that open for fall when school reopens. The elementary school, the boiler rooms are now asbestos free, and so people that are over in that neighborhood, they'll also notice that pretty soon you're going to see boilers start to be cut up and hauled out the back of the old boiler room, and then soon we'll be placing new equipment. So it's exciting to go from concept and idea, and now getting it into a piece of work where people are seeing the differences each and every day, and it's exciting to see what the future will bring.
Exactly. So when do you think that the community center would be able to, be open for the public?
Well, right now the construction plan is to have the full project turned over to the district for occupancy in August of 2021. We are targeting the start date of fall Minnesota State High School League activities. That is the goal. It's usually the second or third Monday in August. That's the goal, that the full project will be done. Hopefully the weather cooperates and all things go as planned, and maybe we can even get the project done a week or so earlier than that.
I know beginning of the summer here, they were cleaning out those, the Army Reserve Center. What are the plans for those buildings?
Yeah, so the main reserve center, that building actually just had all of the asbestos removed out of that building as well. That building in the coming weeks is actually going to be demolished and hauled away. The reserve center storage shed or storage garage, equipment garage, that's going to stay. And that is a building the district is going to keep using for storage. The existing reserve center location will actually be graded and crowned in order for us to have a 7th and 8th grade football field out there. And so that equipment shed will be nice to be able to keep not only equipment that our buildings and grounds people use, but also equipment that might need to be out by that practice field and stuff, and have a place to be able to store it inside. So yeah, in the coming weeks here, I would think in the next 7 to 10 days to 2 weeks, you're gonna notice some more major work done on the reserve center.
We have some pictures of the designs of the new project here, so we're just going to talk about those. We might get Matt to hold them up here. So this, I'm guessing this is kind of the main entrance into the whole building now?
Yeah, so that's west facing, so that's facing Old Highway 23. We do anticipate that this will kind of become the focal entrance of our secondary building. So there'll be like a roundabout on the west side that people can come in and drop off at the curb, and then they can continue in that roundabout to the parking lot. Or prior to getting that, they could peel off and go to the west lot or the south lot. The other side of this building then also has an entrance that will go out towards our athletic complex, and you'll be able to have like a Bulldog Plaza out there as well. You look at the community center is going to be able to house 4 full basketball courts. I believe there'll be 6 volleyball courts potentially on it as well. There'll be badminton lines on the floor, and then there's also going to be a walking track that will be accessible for community. We're working on some logo, some signage. There's still some of those things that are still coming together, but we will have prominent Bulldog Country labeling and stuff on both sides of that community center for people to be reminded every time that they drive down the street where they are.
Exactly, proud to be a Bulldog.
Absolutely.
So have you encountered any surprises so far in the project?
I don't want to jinx myself, but this is the one thing that I will say is it's great to get the project started. Whenever you're doing a project of this scale, the beginning is always interesting, because that is where you can uncover some unexpected. I'm happy to report we've not, through the demolition that's been done. It's really gone according to plan. And actually we've had a few changes that are actually going to come in a little bit under budget, and so it's exciting. Obviously moving forward as we get the foundation fully put in and then get the structure up and enclosed, those are other milestones that at least will make me sleep better at night, knowing that we continue to be on track as planned.
And speaking of this, your start date, with COVID-19 being in place, the students were in school, so were you actually able to start earlier than projected?
Yeah, we originally were talking about turning the building over to the construction crews on June 8th. And obviously, anybody who's been by with June 8th just being this past Monday, there was considerable amount of demolition that happened prior to June 8th. So we did gain a little bit of time, unfortunately, and it's not as much time as I think people thought. The primary reason for that is we were really hopeful that students were going to be back. And so it wasn't until that final announcement that we would be closing the school year with distance learning that we could really get the demolition plans in place and stuff. So we're a little bit ahead. Hopefully the weather cooperates and things are good for construction season, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, we had decent weather so far, hopefully, but
so far
I
so
guess
good.
When you say that, you might jinx it there. So.
Yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the CTE building. What are the exact plans and layout kind of that?
Yeah, so the CTE space is it's interesting. I was actually in the to view a little bit of the demolition work, and once all the equipment gets out and we had electricians in taking out a bunch of power sources and stuff, but we still had all of the nooks and crannies and walls that make up the current space, and I was kind of questioning myself. I was wondering, did we go and create a space that is going to be what we really wanted? We wanted an open concept where you have our automotive program, our woods, metals, our ag shops. All of those are being able to share equipment and share space, really to reinforce that whole innovate, design, collaborate, and then actually go in the shop and create. And it's really that whole process of how we want to develop students and thinkers in that area. And so I was kind of kicking myself because there's in our current structure there's all these small closets and these walls, and the space was empty, and I walked in there and it just seemed so underwhelming. So it just happened I came back about maybe 8 or 9 days later, and the demolition had taken out a bunch of the walls that aren't supporting the roof, and it was remarkable to me the difference that you take a storage cabinet or a storage space that was maybe 10 by 12, and then you take another storage space that was maybe 10 feet wide and 20 feet long, and now we've started to remove those walls to really open this space up to use all of our space as part of our shop experience. It's amazing at how much footage we're gaining. And so I was reassured, because when I first walked in there, I kind of was kicking myself. I didn't know if it was really what we were after, but then now seeing the demolition progress, I'm really excited. It'll be so neat to be able to have those areas of CTE be able to use each other's strengths, to be able to work together on different things, to work on cross-curricular projects with kids, and really have a facility that'll really be able to pretty much meet any student's interest down in that area. It's exciting. It's really exciting. There'll be a series of clear doors you can see on the images, so we'll have some ability to be able to turn spaces into smaller spaces if we want, but we'll also be able to have it open up as one large space. Really, the flexibilities are only limited by our human capabilities of what we're willing to do.
Yeah, those plans are really something, like you said, the open space and all the different things that are on there too. I'm excited to see how that turns out. All right, so that's the project so far, so we can talk about the school year. I know it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but just how did the last year go overall?
Well, first of all, I've got to give a huge shout out and congratulations to not only our students but families. I don't think anybody drew up the 2019-20 school year and said, from March 16th until June 4th, we're gonna do school at home. And I'm just incredibly impressed and humbled by how our families responded to that. It was remarkable, and it makes me proud to be part of Painesville area schools. It makes me proud to be part of this community. But then you look at how our educators adapted. That isn't something that you draw the blueprint up. I can assure anyone out there, there is not a teacher prep program that has the Pandemic 101 class in which you have to convert everything you do into a digital medium. They were remarkable. And it goes not only to classroom teachers, but it's paraprofessionals who were able to stop what they're doing and pick up and go help with a food service program and a meal distribution program. It's kitchen workers that were able to not only continue to feed our community and feed our students, but do it in such a way that rather than having very fixed schedules in which kids are in front of them in the cafeteria doing what they need to do, now they're packaging coolers and loading school buses and sending them out to remote satellite locations. All of those things, we did all of that. I didn't get one employee complaint. And to me, that's the part that makes it makes it something special. So I'm hopeful that we met students' needs. I know that it's difficult. I know it's not ideal, but I think given the circumstances, I'm very proud about how Painesville handled the circumstances, and it takes all of those. It takes employees, it takes students, it takes families, it takes community, it takes all of it to come together to make it happen. The other thing I just want to mention is commencement. There is no blueprint for doing a drive-through commencement, but I know we had an internet issue. But I can say, and I can speak as a parent who has shared that link with a couple of eager sets of grandparents, that was something that, again, is something that I'm very proud of. I don't think anyone in the class of 2020 would have drew it up that way, but I also think the class of 2020 recognizes the level of appreciation that this community has for them. I don't know, the community members that were out at the parade, absolutely remarkable. It was just something that was excellent to be a part of. So it takes us all, and I think what I can say is I believe everybody has really exceeded expectations. But let's talk about the fall.
Yeah, that was my next question. You're ahead of me now.
Yeah, what are we gonna do? We need kids back in our building. That's the end of at the end of the day, all of the discussion, everything, school's much more than what happens on a computer or on a device. It's about human interaction. It's about those soft skills, those people skills. Those are things that we need, and I think right now it's something that our young people in our community are looking for. So my commitment and the commitment that we have at Painesville is we are going to have students back in the building the minute we can. I think we are living that right now. Our fitness center was given the green light to open up on Wednesday of this week, so yesterday, and I do believe our fitness center opened up on Wednesday. So we are going to continue to try to get things back to some resemblance of normal, and I believe it's critical that we get kids back in the building. Students need it, families need it, everybody needs to have that happen. Now, that being said, I think we've also learned a lot of valuable lessons from distance learning, and I'm not ready to just say we're going to return to status quo. our system is just going to revert back to what it was. I think we as professionals really have an obligation to take the very best from distance learning, the very best from what we were doing with in-person education, and we need to come up with a system that really reflects both of those things. So it's exciting. It's something that I'm really interested in. It makes me excited, gets me out of bed every morning. But I think I can't reiterate enough, we need students back in the building. We absolutely need them here.
Is there any word from the state or anything of, exact date of when they'll be thinking about opening it again? Because, different things, the governor's on his third phase now or whatever. Is there any insight on, any direction from them?
Well, there's been a little bit of, I did get a communication from the Commissioner of Education, and they indicated that July 27th would be a tentative timeline when schools would be notified what the ultimate plan is for fall. Personally, and I've been rather outspoken about this, July 27th is simply too late. We need that information much earlier than July 27th. I would make the argument we need that information by June 30th. Potentially, I could be convinced that after the 4th of July holiday weekend would be acceptable too. But we need that information now versus 3 or 4 weeks into July. So I'm hopeful that we can continue to have dialogue with the Department of Education, with the Department of Health, and that there are people that are working on this that I have a lot of faith in and I trust, and I think they are going to do what's in the best interest of students and families and communities. But I also think it's important that we get that message out that school districts, particularly our rural school districts in the state of Minnesota, we need those plans earlier versus later. We really need them by the end of June.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sorry we're out of time, but thank you for joining us today and kind of having to run around for the cameras there, but you made it work, I think.
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks, Jacob.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Matt Bullard, the superintendent at Painesville Schools. Now we go to commercial.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments. The big ones, the small ones. We know you don't have time for complicated banking, and we believe you deserve something more. Our friendly and knowledgeable team is here to make banking easier with the right financial accounts, loans, and services to fit your needs. It's our promise to you to place your needs at the center of all we do. Central Minnesota Credit Union, centered on you.
Make Wealth Management has offices located in Painesville and Wilner and is a comprehensive wealth management, investment, and insurance firm. As your trusted advisors, we are wholly dedicated to helping you reach a higher purpose for your wealth and design a lasting legacy for your family. We leverage deep industry knowledge, a vast network of specialized services, proven investment strategies, and a passion for serving you. Let Make Wealth Management help you live your life by design, not by default.
We want to welcome Mr. Jeremy Wilner for this episode of Your Money Minute.
Thank you very much and good morning, everyone. I'm Jeremy Wilner, CEO and founder of Mag Wealth Management with offices in Painesville and Wilmer. And today I'm going to give you a market and economic update for the week ended June 5th of 2020. First, I want to talk about a few things that have been in the news. We have a picture of protests. Protests have continued, but they've become more peaceful. Then we have a picture of Joe Biden, who's received enough delegates now to become the Democratic nominee for president. The NBA has announced that they're going to have a revised playoff schedule that will start in Orlando at some point. And then NASCAR has been doing live events for the last couple of weeks and has seen their ratings at the highest level since 2017. So we really have an appetite for sports and things are starting to open back up. As far as performance goes in the markets, we had one of the worst declines ever earlier this year in the markets. And now what most people don't know is that we've had a 50-day run that has been some of the best performance that we've ever had in the market. And I'm just going to go over a few of the numbers. So the S&P 500 last week was up 5%, and for the year is only down 0.3%. The MSCI, which is the international index, was up 5.8% last week, and for the year is down 3.9%. The Barclays U.S. Aggregate Bond Index was down 0.5% last week, but for the year is up 5%. The Russell 2000, which is a small company stock index, and small caps have really done well the last 2 weeks. They were up 8.1% last week, but still down 9.1% for the year. The top performing sector year to date is information technology. It added 3.7% last week and is now up 10.7% for the entire year. And the NASDAQ actually hit a new all-time record yesterday. The bottom year-to-date sector was energy, and even though it added 7.5% last week, it is still down 31.2% for the entire year. And we've had 59 moves of either a 1% positive or decline in the S&P for the year, this year. The biggest news last week was the economic data that came out. There were 2.5 million jobs gained in May, which is the largest on record. Most of the experts were expecting a decline of 7 million, so there was a huge swing of about 9.5 million jobs. Most of those gains came from a reduction in temporary layoffs of about 2.7 million people. And the unemployment rate fell to 13.3% from 14.7% in April. And almost 1.8 million people came back into the labor force. And what this suggests is that April may have been the bottom of the job market as temporary furloughed workers came back into the workplace as well. So the data suggests that we could have a recovery in June and that is looking better and better.
Well, thanks, Jeremy, for your Money Minute. And if you'd like to contact Jeremy, please visit their website at makewealth.com. On June 1st, salons across Minnesota were able to open their doors again. I had the chance to finally get my hair cut as well, if you didn't notice. This past week, I had the opportunity to talk with Carrie Wolfus, Joan Schlungen, and Rochelle Moore from Elizabeth Rose Salon, located in downtown Painesville.
Hi, I'm Joan Schlungen.
I'm Carrie Rolfus.
I'm Rochelle Moore.
Elizabeth Rose Salon is back in business with some new regulations to follow.
You call and make an appointment first. You can't just walk in. Once you come in, we will greet you at the door, take your temperature, have you sign, read a thing about preparedness, that all the health questionnaire that everybody's got to sign. And then we'll escort you to one of our chairs. And we will do everything at the chair. So not only do we do the hair at the chair, we also will have you pay and book your next appointment, or if you need any products, we just do everything right at the chair.
The new regulations create many challenges for the salons across Minnesota.
It's a lot.
It is. It's stressful. We're getting used to them. Definitely don't like wearing the mask, but I understand that we have to. That's probably the hardest part about working in the salon, is wearing the mask and not being able to breathe. Yeah. You get 10 times hotter.
It makes the experience a little bit different too, because now you got to try to find the way to how am I putting this color on, how am I cutting around the ears, how am I moving the mask, so then there's not so much touching and cross-contamination, and it's a lot to think about.
So it's not necessarily just one packet saying here, follow these rules.
No, it's several.
Yeah, we continuously get emails with new regulations or changing the regulations just a little bit. Then we'll get an email that pops up just saying, okay, just let you know this has changed now.
There's like 4 places that we have to gather information from, read through it, and it changed again. So for the 10th coming up, so we had to reprint and redo, and so we're always watching that too.
After 3 months of staying home, the team is glad to be back.
I love my children, but I'm so glad to be back at work.
I wasn't quite ready to be retired at such a young age, so I'm loving being back. I miss being home with my kiddo every day, but it feels good to be with the clients and back with these ladies every day.
That's been hard. When at first you were like you're with your friends every single day.
Yeah.
And you know everything about each other's lives, and then all of a sudden you can't see anybody.
The
The salon wants their clients to know that they are open for business even if they don't answer their phone.
We have the answering machine going, and I know that people have called and said, well, you're supposed to be open, how come you're not answering? It's because, again, if we pick the phone up, then first we're supposed to wipe it down, and then if you're doing a color, you're pulling the gloves off, you're walking away from your client, you have to answer it, and there's so much cross-contamination that when we're busy with clients, we're not answering the phone, but then like on our lunch break or when we get a break in between, then we're trying to call people back as they call.
All the salons around town have been working together to find different tips and tricks for the new regulations.
All of us salons have been talking with each other, kind of in a private group chat, like how are you going to do this and what do you think about that and did you see this new law or whatever, and so we've all been communicating. That's been a good thing. It just takes a longer time, so we just kind of want people to be patient with us. We know it's frustrating. 3 months has been a long time. Hopefully we get it right.
Trying, that's all we can do.
Yep.
All the way from downtown Painesville, back to you in the studio.
To book an appointment at Elizabeth Rose Salon, you can call 243-4247. Another local business that opened up this week is the Painesville Fitness Center. You can go to the Community Ed website at painesville.ce.com for more information and get a membership.
We don't have an in-studio live music guest this week, but we do have good news that the Summer Concerts in the Park series put on by Painesville Community Education will be on. Put July 2nd, 9th, 16th, and the 23rd from 6 to 8 p.m. on your calendars, and we'll see you down at Veterans Park. Band schedule is on the Community Ed website at painesville.ce.com. If you'd like to be an in-studio musical guest, please call the Community Ed at 243-7570. We'll be right back after this.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments. The big ones, the small ones. We know you don't have time for complicated banking. And we believe you deserve something more. Our friendly and knowledgeable team is here to make banking easier with the right financial accounts, loans, and services to fit your needs. It's our promise to you to place your needs at the center of all we do. Central Minnesota Credit Union, centered on you.
Make Wealth Management has offices located in Painesville and in Wilner and is a comprehensive wealth management, investment, and insurance firm. As your trusted advisors, we are wholly dedicated to helping you reach a higher purpose for your wealth and design a lasting legacy for your family. We leverage deep industry knowledge, a vast network of specialized services, proven investment strategies, and a passion for serving you. Let Make Wealth Management help you live your life by design, not by default. All right, folks, let's see.
We all want to be centered on life's best moments.
The joke of the week? Get ready for the joke of the week. People at home, I'm sure you're wondering who's going to get the first boo this week. Hopefully it's not me. And then last week it was Faith, so hopefully I have a good chance this week. All right, Faith, what do you call an alligator detective? An investigator. Silence goes the audience.
Okay. Why did the Oreo have to go to the dentist? Because it lost its filling.
Oh. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay. So what did the shark say when it ate a clownfish? This tastes a little funny. That's one of my jokes that Dad says all the time.
What sits at the bottom of the sea and twitches? A nervous wreck.
Alright, I can't handle it anymore. We gotta stop for this week.
Now for our Painesville Area Chamber of Commerce member spotlights.
Money.
20 years, Valley Industries has been providing the agricultural, industrial, and retail markets with innovative products that continue to set the bar in performance and quality. With a centralized office and sales staff, Valley Industries provides 360-degree customer service to make sure your questions get answered, your shipments get delivered, and your problem has a solution. Valley Industries, a proud Chamber member. Have you been looking for your next vehicle but have been put off by some of the high-pressure sales pitches you've received? Come to Painesville Chevrolet Buick for a unique and welcoming approach to your automotive industry. We believe in doing business by treating people the way we want to be treated, and we always remember that our customers are the reason why we are all here. Call 243-3716, Painesville Chevrolet and Buick.
Alright, now it's time to see who the lucky winner is for this week's trivia. The question was, who holds the Painesville baseball record for the most bases stolen in one season? The correct answer, before I reveal the answer, we gotta look at our guests and what they answered it. We had Ashley Anderson saying D, and Neil gave her the answer. We had Dean Heike, our faithful listener, saying B. We also had another guest saying D. Well, sorry to say, but the correct answer is C, Ron Fuchs. In 1987,